When I was in 6th grade, I participated in a career day for my home economics class. I distinctly recall over half of the boys in my class choosing professional athlete as their career. Although I grew up playing sports, I never considered being a professional athlete as even an option for me. While female professional athletes do exist, women's sports remain in the shadows of the predominantly male sports world. 1 in 3 girls now participate in sports. So why is it that the same representations don't exist for women?
Men definitely get more coverage than women do. Maybe it's just because they're more popularized in our country. More sports figures happen to be male, so I think that they're just put at the forefront ahead of females.
Less coverage of female athletes in the media it's a male-dominated sport world. Look at just announcers, look at sports writers, even sports information directors, a tendency to be male-dominated.
It's always tough to cover women's sports in that there's a lot of people, it depends on the different broadcast outlets you have, but in a lot of them, they're media-driven, they're ratings-driven, so they want to sell advertising, they want to appeal to as many people as possible.
The assumption that women's sports aren't interesting to the general public is one that has been challenged in the few times women's sports have been covered on a national scale. In 1999, the women's national soccer team took on China for the World Cup in California. All 32 games were broadcast live on television, with an estimated 40 million tuning in to watch what became a national event as the United States defeated China. The national spotlight on women's soccer also spiked an increase in female soccer participants across the United States. The promotion and coverage of the 1999 World Cup contributed to an increase in public interest in women's soccer and paved the way for other players to follow in their footsteps.
You aren't going to see what you see in men's sports televised. The same thing in women's sports. It's just that's not how. Sadly, it's not how the television functions. And you can argue that it's consumer based and that it's based on demand, but at the same time, it's also based on kind of the stereotypes.
Gender stereotypes are reinforced within the world of athletics through the qualitative differences in media coverage for male and female athletes.
As far as gender stereotypes go in the world of sports, again, I think we've made tremendous progress, but one of the ones that still exists, that still bugs me to this day, is just in the sport of basketball, for example, how we refer to the men's basketball game simply as basketball. In all of sports media, especially on ESPN, it is referred to as basketball, NCAA basketball. But for the women's game, it is always referred to as NCAA women's basketball. It's small and probably pretty subtle, but one of those things that I think is pervasive.
While there are multiple explanations as to why women receive less sports coverage, the implications remain the same. Young female athletes are left without the same societal support to engage in athletics, rendering their aspirations confined to what society deems acceptable and what the media considers profitable. Promoting and covering women's sports encourages young girls to participate, allowing them the possibility to aspire to the same heights as male athletes and to receive the benefits associated with athletics. Other stories, like the 1999 World Cup, are out there. They just need to be told.